private practice workshop. Oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. Now, if you have ever been to one of Dr. Una's workshops, I just want you to let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments if you've ever been to one of Dr. Una's workshops. Even Dr. Una's excited. This is going to be fantastic. You know why she's so excited? Because she knows that she's about to give you unbelievable knowledge, unbelievable strategy, unbelievable practical steps that you can start using right away to move your practice, your private practice to another level. So let me know in the chat if you've ever been to one of Dr. Una's workshops before, or let me see. Okay, wow, okay. So you're in for a huge treat. Dr. Jackie's first time where you're in for a huge treat. I just want you to know that Dr. Una does not do fluff, that you're going to leave away with things that you can start using right away. And tonight it's all about how to build your panel, how to fill your schedule in 90 days or less. Now, wouldn't it be amazing? I mean, let me know in the chat if you could fill your schedule in 90 days, what that would do for your business. What would that do for your private practice if you could just fill your schedule? That's half the battle, right? That's everything. So that's what Dr. Una is going to talk about tonight. So I want you to really take it all in. Dr. Scott said that would be amazing. Oh my gosh. But she's going to give you things that she has done to build a multiple seven-figure practice. And the practice is still going on without her, and it's still a multiple seven-figure practice. So she knows her stuff. And Dr. Una's main, she has so many, right? But her main superpower is strategy. So she's here to give you that amazing strategy that's going to help you get your private practice thriving in 2025. 2025 private practice is still going strong. Private practice is still alive, and we are here for it all. We're here to change medicine. We're here to change how we practice medicine, right? So I'm just excited for nice to meet all of you. Throughout this time, we're going to get practical examples, and she's also going to give you homework. We're going to look for the homework because that's an opportunity for us to spend some of Dr. Una's money, give you guys some some prizes maybe. So I just want you to focus, give yourself this time. You owe it to yourself, and be all in. Let me know if you're all in the comments. If you're all in, let me know if you're all in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm excited. Okay, Dr. Uda, we are ready for you.
I was saying that I'm all in. Does that count? Did I get a prize?
Yes.
Did I get something?
No. It does
I don't
count
get
though.
anything. Okay.
Dr.
All right.
Scott will probably get a prize, not you.
Not me. You can't spend my own money on me. Okay. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Profitable Private Practice Workshop. We're going to have some big energy today. So if you are not in the shower, please turn your camera on. Okay. Want to see you. We're going to talk. We're going to shift things. It's going to be really, really, really amazing. So I want to set the stage for what is going to happen. I want you to be aware of what is happening here. Hi, Dr. Olu. She's like, let me put my camera on real quick. Dr. Jackie, I see you. Awesome. Okay. Let me set the stage of what's about to happen here. Okay. We don't do these workshops, just to be fancy, just for it to be that we did something. We're very intentional. In 2025, EntreMD as a company, we made a decision. We've been talking about this for years, that 2025 is the year of the physician. Now, I am not confused about the things that are going on in the healthcare space. I am not confused about the challenges that show up for private practice. I'm not confused by the challenges that show up in life period in 2025, but I will tell you this. There are a group of brave physicians who have decided that, but one way or another, we're going to figure this out. We're going to make this work. I'm still going to enjoy my life. I'm going to build a dream practice. I'm going to build my dream life. You may not even know the how, but you've decided that you're going to do that. You're exactly who I'm looking for, right? Where you're like, yeah, I hear everything that's happening. I see everything that's happening, but I want to experience an alternate reality. Okay. So if that's you, you can go ahead and say, Dr. Una, stop looking. You have found her. You have found him. I am he. I am she, right? And so our mission for 2025 is to help doctors have 5 freedoms. Okay. So we've talked about 2025 being the year of the physician. It is not cute speak. Okay. It is for real. And this is, we have the freedom to practice medicine on our terms, to live life on our terms, to have financial freedom, to have time freedom, and freedom to pursue purpose. Every physician deserves those 5 freedoms, and that is why we're here. That's why this workshop exists. Now, some of you on here, you are already clients of ours. Some of you are not, and this is whether you decide to work with us or not. The idea is every single time we do these workshops, the entire community of people who are leading private practices, the entire community is elevated. Okay, so that's what you're here for tonight. Okay, that's exactly what is going to happen. And so because of that, I want to tell you, like, I want you to give this time all of your time, right? Like, so this is not the time to also be browsing on Facebook and looking at that cute, funny cat video on TikTok or all of those things. Like, take the time. When I send you emails, I tell you that I'm going to show up like you paid me 10 grand to be here. And I just want you to show up like you paid 10 grand to be here. Okay. That's called a match made in heaven. Okay. So just lean all in. But every time we do these workshops, like, the last time we did the Revenue Boost Challenge, a doc came on and said, oh my goodness, like I made 30% of what I typically make annually as a result of that workshop, right? We've had doctors who've come on here, they've gone on to fill their schedules. This is not like hypothetical. They have left here. Some of them came into the profitable private practice movement, which we'll talk about later. And they're literally like, okay, now I've brought my team up to speed. I am up to speed. We've expanded our capacity. We have filled our schedule. So the things we're talking about, they're not cute things. That's not what we're here to do. I want you to see this as, this is for me. I know there's a room full of people, but this is for me, and my practice is going to be better because I came here. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, now if we have not met, my name is Dr. Una. I'm a pediatrician by training, and I'm an advocate for physicians everywhere. Okay, this is my role. But little bit of a backstory. I started my private practice, which was my first business. I lead 5 companies now, but with my private practice, my first business, I still have it till today. About a decade and a half ago, in a few months, it'll be 15 years. And when I started that, if you're here, you're like, well, I don't really know that much about private practice. You're better than I was. Okay. Like, I started knowing nothing. My thing was, I will hang my shingle and they will come. Okay. And so I hung my shingle, and to my terror and distress and dismay, they did not come. Okay. I was like, wait, I have good bedside manner. I'm a great clinician. Like, what is going on? And so I had to learn how to market, learn how to sell. And the me that needed to do that was a socially awkward, super shy, introverted introvert. So I wanted nothing to do with it. How many cousins do I have here? You're like, marketing? Like, do we have to talk about that? Can we fill our schedule without doing that? That was me. Okay. So if that's you, I get it. Right. And so I started learning the business of medicine, which is very different from the clinical side of medicine. These are 2 completely different things, right? And so, but I will tell you the outcome of that, right? Was it scary when I did it? Yes. Did I do it messy? Yes. Did I at times feel I didn't know what I was doing? Yes. But I had made a decision that I was not going to not win in private practice. Like, it was just not going to happen, right? Like, that's just not going to happen. Okay. Now that practice, it survived 2008. Okay. Big recession that year. It survived the pandemic, which was, how many years was that? It survived the Great Resignation that followed that, right? It is an innovative practice. Like, we've taken it to a whole other level. Like, we can't find any MAs, we'll make our own. That's what we'll make our own. Okay. Streamline the process. So that's not a thing that's an issue for us anymore. Like, we've taken that stance. I built a really solid team. So grateful for my team. I had a meeting with them today. They run the practice. I have not set foot in the building in 3 years. Like, I physically have not been in the building, but they're doing it. So that shows you, if I can show them what to do and they can run it, it means that the principles work. And it's not just, it's not just me, right? So now we have a practice that is impacting a lot of people. It's created time freedom. It's created financial freedom. I don't know what you would want to do with your extra time, but for me, I really wanted the extra time to spend with my family, wanted the extra time to be able to homeschool my kids. I have 4 kids. They're 16, 15, 11, and 9. And the 4 of them are homeschooled. And we get to do all kinds of, fun stuff because mama makes the curriculum now, right? Those of you who are in the EntreMD Facebook group, you'll see that my 16-year-old is on there doing lives every week. selling EntreMD merch and all the things. And that's her business class that mama created, okay? Because that's what mama wanted to do. And it's not just me, but there are many doctors we've worked with over the years who have done this, filled up their schedule, getting paid for the work they do, understanding how to monitor their revenue cycle, creating time freedom, creating financial freedom, all of that stuff. And so it is possible for you. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to see this as cute theory. I'm not here to share theory with you. I'm here because I support you. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you win. It is good for you that your practice wins. It is good for your team that your practice wins. It's good for your community that your practice wins. Oh my goodness, is it good for the United States as a whole if your private practice wins? Because their practice is shutting down left, right, and center. Private equity doesn't care. And I don't mean that. I'm sure some of them care, but right from where we see it, is like they buy a thing, they strip it, and they walk away. What happens to all the patients who are part of those practices? Who's going to pick up the slack? Private equity? No, we're the ones. We're the ones. Okay, so I want you to see that. So we've had doctors who, like they filled up their schedules. We had a doc who was like, oh my goodness, for the first time in less than 2 weeks, we sent out charges of $44,000. She was like, I can't believe it. Right. And if you do the math, 44,000, she keeps that up. We're talking, what is that? 1.14 million thereabout for the year. And that's just from attending this. She's been in the movement for maybe 2 or 3 months or something like that. So what I'm telling you is these things work. Okay. So I want you to open up, have an open mind as we go through these concepts. Some of them you won't necessarily like. But how many of you are like, if I don't like it, but it gives me a practice that is profitable, it allows me to have a lot of impact, gives me time freedom, gives me financial freedom. Show of hands, how many of you are like, all right, Dr. Una, I'll kind of sort of do it if you'll give me that, right? Yeah. Okay. So you may not necessarily be like, yay, let's go do that. Okay. But it's okay. I promise you, it's okay. Okay. Now I'm going to give you 3 things. And there are 3 things that if you do these things in 2025, you'll fill up your schedule. You'll be in demand. Okay, you'll be in demand. It's 3 things. Again, you may not like them, but they're good for you. They're like spinach. They're good vegetables. Okay. But before we do that, because you might say, oh, I don't know about this, I want you to type in the chat, what is one thing that at a point seemed impossible for you, but is now you since made it possible? Type in the chat and humor me. Okay, don't ignore Dr. Una. Humor me. Type in the chat something that was impossible. Maybe for you, it may have even been becoming a physician. Maybe your own parents told you can't possibly do that, right? But here you are, full-fledged doc, right? Let me know in the chat. Hi, Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson said taking Mondays off. Taking Mondays off is like the ultimate cheat code in my mind, right? It's like Friday, kind of wound down, Saturday, Sunday, then you took Monday off. Such a boss move. Love it. Okay, so you're doing that. Dr. Alex, hi, Dr. Alex says a half marathon. Oh my goodness. Okay. Dr. Amanda, it's leaving traditional medicine to specialize in lifestyle medicine. I want you to see these are things that it's like, you can't do that. Well, I just did. Okay. Who else? Dr. Jackie, going per diem in hospital medicine to open my own practice. Yes. So good. Congrats. I did that. That was my way. Okay. Who else? Because I want you to keep this in mind as we go through what we go through. So every time you're like, oh, that's impossible, go like, oh, wait. I just remember, like, I do impossible things, right? Okay. Dr. Long started my DPC. Yes. Congratulations. Dr. Oyebukala says, quitting my job to peruse opening my own practice. Amazing. Dr. Sheila, stop practicing obstetrics to full GYN only practice. Dr. Nadia, can't find a partnership to join, so I'm going to start my own practice, right? Dr. Rachida, did I say that right? Want to make DPC from impossible to possible for me, okay? And we're rooting for you. Dr. Olibi, opening my practice and getting credentialed, right? Dr. O, quitting my job and starting my own cash-based practice. So I want you to think about this. You guys are amazing. And you're already defined the odds. So there's nothing I'm going to show you that will make you go like, oh, why would anybody do that? You're already defined the odds. You're already saying, I don't want the status quo. You're already, doing things you've never done before. So this is just more of the same. So every time you think, just go like, oh, it's just more of the same. It's just more of the same. It's just more of the same. That's all that's happening here. More of the same. Okay. All right. And if you want to type that in the chat too, you can do that. More of the same. Yes, Dr. Jackie's like, we are so brave. And it's true. And it's true. And you are so needed in healthcare. Let me tell you why what we're doing is important. It will change your life as a person. It will change your family's life because you'll be on this trajectory to build your dream business and your dream life. It will change your community because who doesn't want to work for a practice that is working with a leader who is innovative, with a leader who understands how to create win-win situations, with a leader who understands how to help the team win, right? And almost as important is the healthcare space needs as many examples of what is possible as possible. Many examples. You starting your clinic would inspire more people than you'll ever know. You taking your clinic to the 7-figure mark will inspire more people than you'll ever know. You building a clinic and still having time for your life will inspire more people than you'll ever know. Your life, like the ripple effect of your life, becomes this thing that on this side of eternity, you can never really measure. You'll never really know what your life did. That's how big your impact will be. Okay. So as we go through this thing, please don't let anything stop you. You're already doing possible things. Okay. All right. Okay. So first strategy number 1 for filling up your schedule. Okay. And the introverts are going to cringe a little, but I'm an introvert. I'm taking one for the team. Okay. I'm here for you. Number 1 is building a referral base. And for any time you hear me talk, you hear me talk about this. And, you know, some of you like Dr. Johnson, you've been on my talks before. Dr. Edwin is a whole boss, been on a ton of my talks, and you've heard this before, but please don't say I've heard this before. Say I've heard this before if you have 24 referral sources and you don't want any more. But if you have less than 24, I need to lean into what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, one of the things that will give your practice the most stability as a growing practice, meaning you grow and you continue to grow, is having a solid referral base of people who will send you patients. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Let's do some math. So let's do math first, because if we can put it in perspective, we can all be on the same page. Okay. Now, if you have 6 referral sources, and those 6 referral sources send you 5 patients a month. Okay. 6 people, they send you 5 a month. And 5 a month is not an unheard of number. I have clients whose referral sources are sending them as many as 100 patients a month. Okay. So we're taking 5, just 5. That means that they are sending you 30 patients altogether. They're sending you 30 patients every single month. They're sending you 360 patients every single year. Okay. Now let's make the assumption that your fee for service and it's $150 per patient visit. And these people they send to you, they need to see you 4 times a year. Now, of course, some people see you 1 time, some people see you 7 times, but on average, they see you 4 times a year. They see you once a quarter. That's $600 per month. Okay. Per year. Sorry. Now, so at $600 per year, with 6 people sending 5 patients a month, that's $216,000 a year. 216,000. Okay. Because you have 6 relationships and they're sending you patients. How many of you are okay with an extra 216,000 a year? Let me know in the chat. How many are like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll be okay with it. Huh? Dr. Kemp is like, forget that. Absolutely. Hi, Dr. Kemp, right? 216,000. That's 6 sending you 5. What if 6 of them sent you 10? Now we're talking 432,000 a year. Pretty close to $500,000. If 6 people sent you 10 patients. So I want you to think about it. Like this is, if one strategy can give you an extra $500,000, then let's just lean into it. Let's lean into it and pay attention to it. Okay. So it's something that seems soft, it's something that seems, but it's something that if you prioritize, it will make a huge difference. My practice administrator went to a practice recently, and it's not a practice we had been to, but she went there recently. And the front desk team said, did somebody go to this practice? And the practice administrator said, yes. Why? Because every single day we get 4 to 5 phone calls from people who say they heard about us from this practice. 4 to 5 phone calls every single day from one practice. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So it's worth it because things will come up like, well, I'm shy. Well, I don't know what to say to them. Well, when I go there, the front desk person doesn't let me pass the door and all of that. My question for you is, for $500,000, are you willing to overcome all those objections? For $500,000, you're like, I'm gonna figure this out because they have my $500,000. Right, right? It is worth the work. Okay. Now, when I talk about referral sources, traditionally, what we do is we think about, okay, I'm a pediatrician, so I'll talk to OBGYN. I'm dermatology, so I'll talk to private practice, primary care, like stuff like that. But I want you to think, I want you to broaden that, think further, think outside of that. So let me use myself as a pediatrician, okay? So when you think of a referral source, think all the people that I want to serve, they're in communities, okay? So who are the leaders of those communities? Those people are my referral sources. Okay. So as a pediatrician, my client is not the patient, right? Because the patient cannot swipe a card. The patient does not get the insurance. The patient does not choose me, is the parent. So the parent is my client, right? Okay. So as a pediatrician, where are the parents gathered? Okay. Now, and primarily the moms, right? Because they're the ones making these decisions. Where are they gathered? Well, one, they are gathered in OBGYN offices, right? They're gathered there. They're gathered with their doulas that have them, right? Their daycare centers that have them. They go there. Their PTA, meetings where they gather, they're there, right? They're women organizations, right? They have events, they do all of those things. They're the people having those babies, right? They're there. There are local Facebook groups for moms in the Gwinnett area. That's the county that I'm in and all of that stuff. The leader of that community has all my people. Do you see what I'm saying? And I could go on and on. You go to churches, right? Like you go to they're gathered in places. So I want you to start thinking, where are my people gathered? The more you think that thought, the more you come up with the answers, the more referral sources you have, the more you fill up your schedule. Then you'll come back and say, Dr. Una, I'm going to need to add a 4th day to the workshop where you talk about how to hire all the team members to serve all the people that I brought in because I filled up my schedule. Okay. Now, Dr. Long says, how do we pitch ourselves to possible referral sources to make it mutually beneficial? And I'll talk about that in a second, but Dr. Long, I want you to actually think of it this way, right? You as a private practice owner, you have problems, okay? Because you need to be able to refer your patients somewhere. You need to be able to refer your patients somewhere where they'll be seen in a timely manner. That is a problem that, remember, every referral source has a problem. So when my practice administrator went to the practice I was telling you about, they were like, oh my goodness, thank God you came. People have been asking us for a pediatrician and we didn't have a place to send them to. So when you're talking to referral sources, I don't want us to think of it from a standpoint like we're bothering them. I want us to see it from a standpoint like we're offering a service. So those guys are super happy that now they have somebody, right, that is close enough, has a good online reputation, people like them and all that, that they can happily send their people to, because what we do, they can't do. It's an OBGYN practice. Do you see what I mean? So this whole thought of, I don't want to bother people by asking them for referrals, just flip it. You are serving them. For the right person, you're serving them because they don't want to take care of the patients you take care of. They want to send them to you. They're looking for somebody like you to send them to. So you're solving a problem. So the same way with our patients, we're not thinking, oh, we're bothering them. We're like, you got some diabetes. We need to fix this, right? Like you're like, let's fix your problem. For your referral sources, you are fixing a problem. Okay, question. Humor me. Answer this in the chat. How many of you right now need a referral for a vendor, some kind of service provider that you want right now? Let me know in the chat. Just say me if that's you. You're looking for somebody. It could be a cleaning lady. It could be a team member. It could be someone to buy vaccines from. It could be, someone to hire in your office. It could, whatever. But you're like, I wish somebody could connect me with somebody who could do X. Let me know in the chat. If right now you need a referral. If right this moment you need a referral, type me in the chat. Type me in the chat. Because that's the thing. We're solving problems. Right? Yep. We're solving problems. I need a lot of people. I need a lot of referrals. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the way I want us to think about it. Okay. So let me lean in and give you some concepts that I want you to have here. Okay. The first thing is that your referrals, I like Dr. Olubi, she's like, let me just put it here in case somebody knows my person. I'm looking for a medical assistant. Thank you very much. Right? Okay. When it comes to building a referral base, it's a long game. Okay. But it is the gift that will keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. So it is worth it. Okay. So I had a client, and I talk about her all the time because it's such a dramatic story, but it's so fun. And she is a weight loss doctor, and she had an orthopedic surgery group that she had been going to, right? Like going to build that relationship so that they can start sending her referrals. She went there month 1, month 2, month 3. Let me just come meet with you guys. No, we don't have the time. Just drop whatever you have. Month 3, month 4, month 5. Oh yeah. At a point she was like, do I stop this? Does it even matter? Month 6, month 7, month 8. Now I'm not trying to scare you. They don't all take 8 months. That's not, but I want to show you something. Month 9, month 10, month 11. Month 11, they're like, okay, come do a meet and greet for us. We'll do lunch and all that stuff. Tell us about what you do. Now, she spent that much time going there because they had 19 clinicians. Okay. How many of you know if you get one group to say yes and there are 19 of them in one place, like you're made. Okay. Okay. So she goes to do the meet and greet, now finds out they're not 19, they're 42. There are 42 clinicians. And at the end of the meet and greet, they're like, oh, give us your card. Give us your card. Yes, we want to send you patients. Do you have more cards? Da, 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 da. They send her 5 to 7 referrals a day. 5 to 7 every single day. Let's do the math. Let's do the math here. There are 260 working days a year. Let's forget the 7. Let's say it's 5. That's 1,300 referrals a year. And I'm just making up the 150, right? If she's fee for service, she's insurance based. If it's 150 per, that's, hang on, let me do the math. 260 times 5 times, 600 was the number we used. 600, $780,000. So my question to you is, if you had to go somewhere for 11 months for them to finally say yes, and that yes is the equivalent of $780,000 a year, would you do it? Do you see what I'm saying? So for some of them, they will start sending you patients immediately. Like, so we had someone in the Profitable Private Practice movement, after we did a session on your 7-figure marketing plan, and she went and started building her referral base. And she was like, oh, I met with 3 docs, this week, and they already sent me 2 patients, right? Like, so I'm not saying it will take 11 months for any people to start sending you patients. But what I'm trying to say is work the game, work it like a savvy entrepreneur that you know what you're doing, right? Like, it may take a minute, but totally worth it. Okay. So it's a long game. So don't quit if they tell you that you can't get through, don't worry about it. Like, keep going. Okay. So it's a long game. Number 2, it's about relationship building. Okay. So Dr. Long, you were asking the right question. Like, how do we make this mutually beneficial? Right. But the starting point is like any other human relationship. We start building relationships. You wouldn't feel weird if somebody that you went to residency with had a clinic down the road and you're like, hey, guy, I have a clinic. Like, hey, how you doing? Let's catch up for this. Yeah, send me patients and all that stuff. It wouldn't be weird. But when we think of it like, ooh, we're entrepreneurs and private practice owners going to talk to people about referral sources, we make it all weird, right? But it's building relationships. Where are they? If they're doing an open house, go there. If there's a hospital lounge where everybody gathers, go there. Build up relationships, strike up conversations, ask people what they do. Now, for all the introverts, this is a secret though, right? Like, just ask a lot of questions. You don't have to talk about yourself. Like in the beginning, you don't have to at all, right? Like, I see you're at this event. What are you here for? Is it your first time here? Blah, blah, blah. Tell me about your clinic. Blah, blah, blah. What do patients say about you? Like, just ask a lot of questions. But anyway, so build those relationships, right? And sometimes if it's a clinic, there's an office manager that's a go-between. There's all kinds of people, but it's relationship building. If we're friends, like Dr. Jackie, if you were close to me and I know people that would see you, I would tell everybody to go to you. I'm just like, yeah, that's my friend, Dr. Jackie. Yeah, go there. Everybody go there. That's where I go too. My kids go there too. Like everybody go, right? People refer to their friends. So build relationships. Think of it that way. Not just referral source, but relationship. It doesn't mean you'll be best friends, but build relationships. Okay. The third thing I want you to know about referral sources is be proactive about being seen. People can't refer to you if they can't find you, right? So the network, how many of you have a networking event? You have an event that you know will be good for your business, but you made a strategic decision not to go? Where are my introvert friends? You're just like, yeah, we're not going to go for that. But the more people see you, the more they know what you do, the more they'll refer to you. Be proactive about being seen. Be proactive about being seen. Your referral sources, where are they? Go there. There's an open house everybody gathered for? Go there. There's an event they're all going for? Go there. They're all in the hospital lounge? Go there, right? There's a place they go to have lunch? Go there. Like, just go there. Be where they are. Find where they are, be there. Be seen. Now, I will challenge you, but I'll go easy today. We have to run away from the concept of hiding. And I get it. But hiding and being this person that is a household name, see how they don't go together? And that doesn't mean your entire life has to be out there. Makita will tell you, I'm a very, very, very private person. Very. You say like, Dr. Una, that doesn't make sense. You're all on social media, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, your podcast, you're doing all things, you're here on this workshop. Yeah, but the version of me, not the version, makes it sound like there are multiple versions, but the aspect of me that is everywhere is the business me. But you don't really know anything about my marriage. You know my kids are homeschooled, but you don't really know anything about my kids. You don't know, so if you're a private person, you can be prolific out there and still be private. You don't have to give it up, but you got to be out there. You have to be out there. People have to find you. You have to be findable, right? So you want to be out there. And I get it, right? Like, but you can start practicing. You can practice going there. So Dr. Long says, I'm an introvert, but I've been forcing myself to go to Chamber of Commerce and other networking events multiple times a week, which is perfect. I'm so proud of you. In the beginning, I was like, what? I'm not going anywhere. It did not work well for me. So I've taken one for the team. Don't do it. Okay. Do what Dr. Long is doing. But put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. People need to see you. And guys, listen, a time is coming when many of us as physicians, we're going to be serial entrepreneurs. I've been saying it for years. I know it sounds weird, but don't worry, just roll with me, right? Because once you become an entrepreneur, you just do entrepreneurial things. That's what happens, right? Your visibility, your brand, your reputation, your relationships are the gifts that will keep giving for the business you have and any other business you'll start. It is what will open the doors for opportunities that you didn't even think to put on your vision board. You didn't even think about it. I have clients who now they're on advisory boards. They're brand ambassadors for certain companies. All of these things they didn't plan for it. Someone looked at their YouTube channel and said, "Oh my goodness, we're going to make you a professor in this medical school. Like we looked at your stuff. You're good. Let's go." Right? Like there are all kinds of things that will happen. Don't hide. It does you no service whatsoever to hide. None whatsoever. This is not a good thing. Hide it. It just isn't. Right. And so start practicing getting out of your shell. Every day, push yourself a little more because you are such a gift and your community needs you. Okay. Okay. And then the fourth concept under your referral sources is ask, 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 ask. Don't be afraid of asking. Right. Ask, ask. I have this clinic. This is what we do. These are the kind of results I get for people. I believe that we can provide a great service for your patients. I'd appreciate referrals. Ask. Ask. It will be weird. By the time you've done your 100th ask, it won't be weird anymore. But as long as we don't ask, we're going to always be afraid of asking. So practice the first time. Let me tell you what happens with my clients. What happens? They go out, they ask and say, "Oh my goodness, I asked, I was so nauseous and all that stuff, but I didn't die." Right? Like I didn't die. No biggie. Okay. So Dr. Leslie. Dr. Leslie said I spoke once, and now I'm on their list for future talks. I also got referrals. There you go. There you go. Guys, we can win, but we can't win doing it the way we used to. And I don't know who convinced us, some of the smartest people in the world with the greatest expertise, greatest experience, greatest stories, that we should hide. I have no idea. But the person is a genius because we're hiding, but not anymore. Okay. Okay. Is that good? That's only number one. Was that good? We got it? Okay. Dr. Johnson said, "I've gotten so much better in the past 2 months." And Dr. Johnson, I'm so proud of you. I see you doing your thing. So good. So good. Okay. All right. So we're gonna run through the next two. Okay. But so let me know in the chat. How many of you know that if I actually do this, it will work. My practice will be different. Let me know in the chat. Humor me. Type in the chat. Right? How many of you know, like if I actually do this, right, and build a cadence out going after referral sources and building those relationships and all, and I get 6 to 12 referral sources, I'll be good. I'll be good. Hi, Dr. Soto. Dr. Soto said, "I'm listening to you. I'm getting out there. Chamber of Commerce presentation. I will present anywhere I can get." Yeah. Right? It's huge. It's huge. I have seen this dramatically change practices. It's crazy what happens. Right? Okay. Okay. And Dr. Scott says, "A little goes a long way, and I need to just take these steps and will show me it works." Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number two is turning your patients, whether it is 1, 2, 50, 3,000, 10,000, 25,000, turning your patients into raving fans. Raving fans. Like you now have an army of people who are referring, right? So we talk to these people who are leaders of communities, but now you have because for every patient, how do you double your practice? Every patient brings another patient. Bam, doubled. That's it. That's it, right? But this is the thing. It's not their job. It's not their job to remember, like to be proactive about referring you. That's not their job. It is your job to facilitate it. Okay. There are many people you love their service, you love everything they do and all that. You haven't referred anybody to them. You love them. You think in your mind, you're like, "Damn, these guys are amazing. I love them." You told them, "I love you. You're amazing." But you have never referred anybody to them because that's not top of mind for you. Everybody's tuned into a radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? I got me on my mind. That's the human nature. Nobody is sitting at home thinking about your private practice and how to send you patients. They're not thinking about that. If you tell them, they will think about that. Do you guys see? So it is magical when you turn the switch on, just like bam. Now, how do you turn them into raving fans? There are 2 things that you do. The first thing you do is you serve them well. I don't talk about this so much to physicians because we almost do this by default. We understand how to care for people. People don't really go into medicine for money or any of these other things. It's kind of, there are easier ways to make money than through medical school and all this stuff, right? We go in because we truly care about people. We want to make a difference in the lives of people and all of those things. We have evidence, right? Like we gave up a lot of our youth. We went through training for over 10 years. We took, for some people, multiple six figures in debt just to be able to care for people. It takes a certain kind of person to do that, okay? So I don't talk too much about that, but you serve them. You serve them. But let me tell you something, and you will know this has happened to you, where you've helped somebody and helped somebody and helped somebody, and they didn't appreciate it. And they didn't appreciate it because they forgot you helped them. When you help them, tell them you helped them. Do you understand what like, have you seen people, you turn their lives around, they've lost 100 pounds, all these things have happened, and like, oh, doc, I don't know. You're like, hang on. Let's open this chart to day one, because we're having some amnesia. I need to know if I need to send you to a neurologist. Okay, let's take a look at what is going on here. So you serve them, you let them know you serve them, and then you ask them for referrals. Let me give you an example. If I had a patient who needed to be seen, and we're like, oh, our next available is 3 days from now, but we'll squeeze you in today, I don't just squeeze them in. I will tell them, our next available is 3 days from now, but because I'm super awesome, I can work my magic and get you in today at 2 p.m. How would that work for you? Oh my goodness, you're the best. Do you see how it's different? I don't let any good deed go unnoticed. Because they won't know. You have to translate it for them. They're not going to remember. They're not just going to remember. Okay, so you serve them. You help them understand you serve them, but then you ask them to refer. Okay, all right. In the last 2 weeks, how many of you have had somebody tell you, like, not just thank you, like at the end of something, thank you, but a heartfelt thank you, like you truly made a difference in their lives, either with the result they got, or the fact that you listened to them, or like they felt heard and stuff like that, or there's something that was really challenging and you just dismantled it or whatever. Let me know in the chat. Like heartfelt in the last 2 weeks, heartfelt, right? So not the regular polite, thank you, not that, right? Okay. Every time your patient tells you, thank you, you're the best thing since sliced bread, nobody has ever listened to me. Okay, so Dr. Sean she's been to this workshop, and she's in the profitable private practice movement. So this is what she said. She's like, yep, and here's my card with my health grades review link for you, right? When patients say you've changed my life, they're begging you to ask them for a referral, right? Or in this case, ask them for a review. But they're like, you've given me a win. I want to give you a win back. How can I do this? That is literally what they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. So don't say, oh, I'm just doing my job. Stop it. Like, of course it's true you're just doing your job, but there are other people in their world that deserve a doctor like you. And you're not connected to those people, but they're connected to those people. Do you guys see, like, you're not connected? The chances that your paths will cross is probably close to zero. But they have breakfast with these people, right? They call them and hang on the phone until they fall asleep. They go to the movies with these people. They will happily tell them about you, but they will not if you don't ask them. They're not thinking about you. Same way you're not thinking about your doctor, like, I wonder what I can do to make this doctor's practice schedule full. How many of you are thinking that thought right now? Nobody. We're not thinking about that. Same way your patients are not thinking about you. So if you want to convert them to raving fans, you serve them and you ask them. You serve them and you ask them. You serve them and you ask them. And they will be happy to do it. They just haven't done it because you haven't asked them. And you're not on their mind. Not like that. Right? And so many times when you ask them, they're like, oh, yeah, of course. But the same person, if you don't ask, they won't do it. Okay. How many of you want to share? How many patients do you have in your panel? Like rough estimate. You may not know the exact number, but just pick a number. Pick a number, because I want you to see another number. Okay. I want you to see another number. Dr. Long, wonderful. Dr. Long, you have 11. You opened in January. This is the deal. In those 11, imagine if 11 of them over the course of the year sent 5 people to you. You're already at 55 plus the 11, that's 66, right? And those new people who came brought 5, and those new people who came brought 5. You have the multiplication formula right there, right? And that doesn't include what you're doing with the referral sources that are going to send people by the 10s and by the 100s, right? Okay. Dr. Amanda just opened in November, had 15, Dr. Sean, 12, Dr. Levin, 1,500, okay? Anybody else want to share? Right? This is the way you multiply and multiply and multiply, right? Okay, so let me lend you an analogy, okay? Sheep, shepherd, okay? The shepherd can have so many sheep, but the shepherd does not produce sheep. The shepherd only creates an enabling environment for the sheep to have more sheep. You're the shepherd. Your patients are the sheep. Help the sheep have more sheep. You don't give birth to sheep. Okay, you're a shepherd. Okay, I don't know how we got to Animal Farm, but okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, third one. Now this one, I used to hold back on it and not fuss too much about it, but in 2025, I am fussing about it. And before I say this, what do I do? Okay. How many of you are really, really committed? Like you really, really want to have a full schedule that stays that way, and you hire more docs and their schedules are full, and that's just the way your practice rolls. Like you're a household name, right? And years from now, you're still a household name. How many of you want that? Because this one may not be for everybody, but this is for those people who want that. Who else? Dr. Johnson is like, yep, I want that. Who else wants that? Because some people are going to be like, Dr. Una, you were fun till you started talking about this. I don't know about you. Okay. I got a good number of people. The third thing, and if I was starting over, I would do this before I open my doors. Right? Like I've been in private practice 15 years now. I would do this before I open my doors. I will launch a YouTube channel. Oh, look at that collective groan. Y'all on mute and I can hear it. Hear me out though. Hear me out. You have referral sources. You have your raving fans. If you put a YouTube channel in the mix, you make yourself so referable. So referable. You position yourself as the expert. Your YouTube channel, your YouTube channel becomes a full-time employee in your business. Full-time. All the doctors around you have static websites that are super cute, created by the same person, so they all look the same with different pictures. But when people land on your website, they will get to meet with you. Some of them will binge on you for 5 to 6 hours. And then they're just like, yeah, this is what I need to do. This is who I need to follow. The know, like, and trust factor you have will go through the roof. It will change the trajectory. And guys, hear me. Most physicians will not do this. There is no competition. I want you to think about it. How many physician YouTubers do you know who own private practices? I think off the top of your head. How many do you know? Sheila says you. Like, how many do you know? And the speaker is the expert. Like, if you're speaking, it doesn't matter whether you know what you're saying or not. Now, I don't mean that to say you don't know what you're saying. I'm saying that's the way the human mind works. That's the way the human mind works. The person who is speaking, the person who has the stage, that's the winner. That's the expert. That's who we should go to. I will launch a YouTube channel. Yep. And so Makita, don't try to poke the bear, because Makita says there's a lot of non-experts with channels too. And that's the problem. A non-expert with a channel will have a full schedule with a 3-month wait list, while the expert who is quiet and hiding will have an empty schedule, because the speaker is the expert, whether they know what they're saying or not. That's the way the human mind takes it. So guys, listen to me. Listen to me. Dr. Leah says, what's the minimum amount to post? So listen to me, right? Dr. Johnson says, Pastor, I told you guys not to poke the bear. Okay, I'm trying to be very, like calm and everything today. Listen to me. You can never run out of content. I just think about it this way. Your patients, they come to you every single day. If you see 20 patients, guess what they're asking you? Questions. And you answer them all day. All I'm saying is take your phone, put it in front of you, answer the question with your camera on. Boom, post it to YouTube. And then we're like, I wonder about this. And my friend, well, my doctor said, and then they take the link and they share it with a friend who shares with another friend, who shares with another friend. And all of them are coming to you because you're the expert and you're the only person talking about all this stuff. Okay. I will launch a YouTube channel. I will launch a YouTube. And those of you that in the movement, I will do a training for you on how to launch it. I will stand with you guys to launch it, but I will launch a YouTube channel. And the YouTube algorithm is loving small channels now. It will take your stuff and put it everywhere. Guys, please hear me. You want to practice that wins, you build a referral base, you build raving fans, and you just take me up on this one with the YouTube channel. Okay. Here, let me answer this question real quick. Okay, Dr. Long said I have a YouTube channel that I started during the pandemic about gardening and then switched to doing Wellness Wednesday, but people engage more with the gardening and cooking than the health videos. Dr. Long, I think, is your clinic lifestyle? Is that what you said? Is it lifestyle? Is it primary care? It doesn't even matter if it's lifestyle, primary care. They're kind of they can work together. So this is the deal, right? If they're resonating with your cooking videos, use your cooking videos to talk about your lifestyle stuff. And you're like, and if you're in this area and you're looking for a doctor who does X, Y, Z, 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 come schedule an appointment, come see me. When I did, so I didn't know about YouTube. See, I wish I had me when I started. I didn't have me. Okay. So when I started, I did a Facebook Live show called the Legacy Parent Show. So I was talking about parenting. I wasn't talking about anything medical. I was talking about having confidence as a parent, like getting the support that you need, all of those kind of things. That's what I was talking about. And then but the thing is this, in doing that, they're like, she gets us. Right? The no like and trust factor is through the roof. And I'm like, and if you're in the Gwinnett area, you're looking for a pediatrician, come find me. Right? And they came. And they came so much so that when I reduced my clinical time, I had to stop the show. Right? So you got this. So someone asked, Dr. Veronica, do I recommend a podcast? So the reason why I don't recommend podcasts is, except your people are podcast listeners. Like, so for me, for EntreMD, I do podcasting, but that's because my people are business people, like professional, they're all listening to podcasts and stuff like that. I tried a podcast for my private practice. It was very hard to get uptake because they're like, what's a podcast? Where do I find it? Like, you know what I mean? And not because they're uneducated. It was just not a thing that they did. So YouTube will be much easier. Plus they can see you, right? Like, so yeah. Dr. Sumaya says how to handle a full schedule, but not enough revenue coming in because of overhead and payroll. You cannot miss day 3. Okay. So actually you can't miss day 2 or day 3. Day 2, we're talking about how to get paid for the work you do. If you have a full schedule, you should have a full bank account. That's the way Dr. Una thinks. Okay. And then day 3, we're talking about how to unlock the revenue generating potential of your team. Okay. So you don't want to have a bigger team and smaller profit margin. Every team member should be pulling their weight. And I'm going to show you that. Okay. Okay. So that's day 2 and day 3. So tomorrow night and Wednesday night. So don't miss that. Dr. Long, DPC lifestyle medicine. Wonderful. Like, you're a person. I could be a doctor gardening, and in my gardening, talking about how, winning in business, created this free time where this is where I come to rest and rejuvenate and all that. I can swing it and work on EntreMD. like, you know what I mean? You can swing it. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's that piece. Okay. Now, these 3 things, if you do them, right, and you do them for 12 months, in 12 months, you'll be a household name. In 12 months, you say, Dr. Una, so your workshop and all this other stuff you do, they created problems for me. Okay. I need a bigger team. I need a bigger building. Are you going to do a workshop to talk about that too? You're going to make some more good trouble? Okay. But I want to challenge you to do these things. Okay. Now, somebody's talking about TikTok or Instagram. So the reason, Dr. Olubi, the reason why I talk about YouTube is because it's more your platform, right? TikTok the other day where they're like, Trump and the rest of them are playing. Do we let TikTok stay? Do we kick TikTok out? You don't be doing that with your content. Same with Instagram. You want to have a home. You want to build a brand. There is something about seeing you have your private practice, you have a YouTube channel, you have 1,000 videos, you have 10,000 subscribers. There's just something about that. You see what it's like when you see a practice with 1,000 reviews, it's just like there's something like it automatically tells you they have credibility, they have longevity, they're doing a good job. There's certain things it tells you. So owning your own platform is crazy, crazy. And it will open so many other doors, speaking opportunities, all kinds of fun stuff, right? So I like YouTube. Now you can always repurpose and put on TikTok and all of those things, but I'm a big fan of people owning a home that's like the home of their brand. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. So I'm going to give you homework, but before I do that, I'm going to take a few minutes and tell you guys about what we built for you. Okay. Now, when you think about these three things, humor me in the chat. What are the things that you think will stop you? Hi, Dr. Crystal. What are the things that you think will stop you? Like, okay, if I have a referral base, oh my goodness, it'll explode my practice. If my patients are raving fans and I'm asking them, this will blow up my practice in the best possible way. If I have a YouTube channel, I'm showing up, I'm doing videos every week. What? Okay. So it will work. Miss you right back, Dr. Nelson. But I see you. I follow you. I see you. Okay. What is stopping you? You know this but. What's the but? Right? Okay. How do I learn about starting a YouTube channel? Analysis paralysis about what referral bases to reach out to. Dr. 𝐏𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐧, I haven't opened yet. So not a problem. So not a problem. Dr. Jackie, imposter syndrome. Dr. Jackie, let me tell you a secret. I have that. That shows up for me too, all day, every day. I just don't pay it mind anymore. It doesn't go away. As long as you take up new challenges, it doesn't go away. Dr. Amanda, feeling like I'm a pain asking for business, right? And, Makita came immediately. It's like, you're definitely not. People need you to ask. Yeah. Dr. Alexis, I don't like to see myself on video, right? Okay. Right? Okay, this is the deal. Dr. Long, sticking to a YouTube schedule and remembering to post. Guys, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Every one of these things, let me see, let me make sure. Dr. Sheila said fear. Yeah. Every one of these things, I have experienced every single one of them. Every single one of them. Dr. Makita is here. A number of people who have been in the business school or who are alumni, they will tell you, even the doctors running multi-seven-figure practices, they have felt every single one of this. So I'm saying that to say, you're not unique. Okay, you are unique, but you're not unique for having this fear. It's not some really unique, special problem you're having. This is the world. This is the world. But again, remember, you do impossible things. Right? Remember, we looked at that from the beginning. You do impossible things. So I'm going to challenge you to not let this stop you. It starts with a decision, right? It's a decision first. Like, I'm not going to let this stop me. Okay, fine. I'm afraid. Fine. I feel like I'm bothering people if I ask them. Fine. I don't like the way I look on camera. I'm not going to let it stop me. Do I have a few people who decide that? I'm not going to let it stop me. Forget that. I'm not going to let it stop me. Okay. Okay. Now, this is what we did because of our commitment to you. Okay. Because we want you to overcome all of these. We want you to take action on all of these. We want you to stay consistent with this for a minimum of a year. And what you will create will shock you. And that's the truth. We've seen it time and after time, after time, after time, and it works. Great resignation, pandemic, recession, whatever, it works. Okay. So we built what we call the Profitable Private Practice Movement. This is a group of physicians who've decided to defy the odds, like you, defy the status quo. Like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to build practices that work. Okay. All right. And in this, we have 5 areas of focus. One of those areas is what we just talked about today, filling up your schedule, having a full schedule. Now, having a full schedule may be for you. It may be, now I hired somebody else. How do we fill that schedule? I hired a third doctor. How do we fill that schedule, right? But your schedule is full. That's number 1. Number 2, how do I get paid for the work I do? Because the fact that you saw patients doesn't mean you got paid. You saw patients, it means you saw patients. There are many people who see patients and they don't get paid because they don't know how to get paid. It's a whole different thing. Number 3, how to unlock the revenue generating potential of your team. we have talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doctors. You will meet doctors who are doing multiple seven figures in revenue, and they're still working a locum job to pay themselves. Because as the team grew, their profit margin disappeared. We don't do that. This is a we do not do thing. Okay, so we're going to help you not do that. The fourth thing is understand how to monitor your revenue cycle, right? Many people, again, very dangerous, running multiple seven-figure practices, won't meet with the biller. It's a cursory, like, how are we doing? Oh, we're doing good. And then there's money in the bank to pay the bills. Nobody asks any question. But my goodness, you could bleed by hundreds of thousands of dollars per doctor doing that. It's an expensive hobby. Okay? Okay. And then the last area of focus is how do we then take what we create, the profits and all of those things, and how do we convert them into wealth, which is, again, a whole other thing. Okay? All right. So that's what we focus on, those 5 areas, right? And if you have those 5 areas down packed, your private practice will win. And that's the truth, right? And for me, is the bare minimum for every physician, like mastering these 5 areas. Now, there's so many things to master after that. Some of the doctors in the EntreMD Business School are here and all that kind of stuff. There's so many things to master after that. But if you have this, your private practice will work. You'll have impact, you have time freedom, you have financial freedom, which is what we want. Okay. All right. So, and you might go like, oh man, like, when am I going to work on all these things and all that? That's not the way this is. Literally, with the movement, we meet every Thursday, and every Thursday, some Thursdays we're learning, and every other Thursday we're implementing. So we come and learn a new concept. The next day we come and work on the concept. So you have this 1 hour a week where it's what time is it, Makita? It's 12 noon or is it 1 o'clock? It's 12 noon. It's 12 noon, and it's 12 noon on purpose. Because people are like, why isn't it in the evening? It's not in the evening because we want you to work on your business when you're at work. And when you go home, you go hang with your family. Who is upset about that? Okay? Like it's part of the training. Like, yes, it's Eastern time. We come and work on our businesses at work. And when we go home, we go play. Okay? All right. So it's 12 o'clock every Thursday. Same link, you come and do your work, you work on your business, boom, you go. And my friends think I'm absolutely nuts, but the investment for this is $197 a month. It's $19.97 for the year. It's like absolutely ridiculous. Okay. But we put it there because we're like, this is what we're doing to support the private practice community so every private practice doctor can win. Okay. So you do what you need to do here. You're winning. You can come join us in the EntreMD Business School. You can join us in Scale. You can join us in all the other stuff we're doing. But oh my goodness. Okay. Huge, 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 huge win. It's like ridiculous. Ridiculous. I still had somebody call me a week ago and say, are you all right? Why did you do that? I'm all right. Okay. All right. So are the sessions recorded? Yes, they're recorded. Dr. Scott, is the format similar to this? So we have so we have a session a month, which is high level strategy. So far I've done the 7-figure blueprints, the 7-figure marketing plan. Like, so you have a document and week to week, you know what to do, right? All of these things organized. We've done how to make data-driven decisions, like a 7-figure CEO, right? Like, so I do those super high level. And then, so after my session is an implementation session. And then after that, we have one of the docs, we have a doc who is a private practice owner running a business that is doing at least 7 figures in revenue, come to teach on something specific. Okay, so last time we had Dr. Wanga, she came and she talked about time management secrets. It was so good. And then before that, we had Dr. Tolu, and she came and she talked about how to turn your current team into your dream team, which was really powerful, right? Okay. Dr. Diaz, I was thinking about Dr. Uda today when I found $2,000 unpaid. Yeah, if you think about me when you think about that, that's good. Get paid, doc, get paid. Okay. So that's the format for it, Dr. Scott, right? So is teaching implementation. And this is from people who know this. There's no theorists. No, I think this is what works. No. Okay. We do not have CME for this, but again, it's like less than a cappuccino a day. It's 197, so pretty cool. Will the sessions be recorded? Everything is recorded, so you can get access to it if you're not able to meet it live. Okay, but we will encourage you. Like, I have a cohort of doctors I work with, and these are people building private practices who are doing over $1 million in revenue. And their session is at 3:00 on a Thursday. When we started, they're like, "Whoa, Dr. Una," I said, "Don't worry, you thank me for it." And now they're, they're mastering time freedom. They're mastering. It's a thing of beauty, right? So when I was doing it, Makita will tell you, we called it the Great Divorce. This whole thing of I'm a 9 to 5 and 5 to 9, I must be working on my practice, all that. Yeah, we teach you to stop that. Is the content rolling? How do we catch up? Yeah, so it won't necessarily be difficult to catch up, and there's quite a bit of overlap, so you'll be fine. Dr. Jackie, you'll be totally fine. You'll be totally fine. And for those of you who are in insurance-based practices as well, you also get access to Practice Pilot. Practice Pilot is a software tool that I use in my practice to look at all the data. So you can feed in your revenue goal, you can feed in the amount you make per patient encounter, you can feed in all of that stuff. So day to day, this is how much, this is where I am compared to my goal. This is the capacity of my practice to actually take me to my goal. These are the problem areas. Like, it's all staring you in the face. It's all your data on one dashboard. It's like fantastic, fantastic. So again, one of the things that made people go like, what are you doing? Okay. So EntreMD.com/movement. We did this so you don't have to think about it, right? I work with people, like, we have containers where it's $30,000 to work with us, $50,000 to work with us. And this is so that you don't have to think. Okay. You don't have to go like, you're not making a life or death decision. You're not running a code. You're not doing any of that. It's $197. If you went out with a few girlfriends and, had lunch and decided to cover it, that's what you would be paying. Right. And again, humor me in the chat. If you're like, if I paid $197 for this session I had today, would it have been worth it? Type in the chat. Just today, just today, would it be worth it? Right? Dr. Manscott is like, yes. Who else? Right? Hi, Dr. Jockey, she says 1,000,000%, right? Okay. So if one session that, like, I came out to deliver and you would pay $197 for this, then we can't be thinking about $197 a month. You see what I mean? Like, I've already shown you evidence that you will get like 1,000 times ROI. So just go for it. Okay. Go for it. Let's see. Dr. Soda says it changed my life. Dr. Soda is in the movement. Dr. Sean is in the movement. Oh, hi, Dr. Akudo. She's in the movement too. Is the former EntreMD program still going on? Okay, so it's not former, it's still going on. The EntreMD Business School is still there. You can always talk to Makita if that's what you want. Let's see. I think I got all the questions. Okay, so EntreMD.com/movement. This week is my week for strategy, and we're going to do how to make data-driven decisions as a 7-figure CEO. And this is so important. We did a part of it, and I'm going to recap that. So you're going to get 2 for the price of 1. I'm going to recap that. But this is so important because most physicians don't look at their numbers. They have no idea what is happening with their numbers. They don't make decisions based on numbers. They make decisions based on, I think this will be nice. And they get into trouble. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of trouble. This is the reason why we buy all these devices that we're never going to turn a profit on. Is just crazy. So crazy. But this way, you will never run from your biller anymore. You understand what to do with the numbers. You understand how to manipulate. When I say manipulate the numbers, you understand how to make decisions based on the numbers. You'll see this number go down. You know what levers to pull to change the number. The thing of, oh, I don't know what to do, that goes away. That goes away. Okay. And then you start feeling like the CEO of your practice. Like, I'm in charge. I know what to do. Right. It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to do a training for YouTube because we have to win with that. We absolutely do. Okay. So let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was this? For me, it was a 10 out of 10. I had so much fun. Okay. Homework for you. Dr. Shah's like 10, 10. You guys are awesome. 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 Okay. So homework for you. I want you to pick a platform, any social media platform you're on, and I want you to introduce yourself. It's not about social media. It's about you practicing getting outside the box. It's not about Facebook or TikTok or whatever. It's not about that. It's about you practicing. It is about you practicing, like coming out there and saying, this is who I am. And if you have this kind of problem, I solve it. Find me here. That's it. Okay. Now, some of you can be braver. You can do a video. Some of you can say, Dr. Una, what? I'm going to record a whole YouTube video. Okay. Well, we want you to use the tag PPPW, Profitable Private Practice Workshop. Okay. Hashtag PPPW. Makita will look for them. Makita will be so excited to spend my money. So please, help her so that she can spend the money and give you guys gifts and all of those things. But please, this is practice. It's not about social media. It's not about social media. It is about you saying, okay, let me go practice putting myself out there. Let me dare my fears and put myself out there. Dr. Jackie, I'm going to look for yours. I sure will. I'm going to look for yours. Okay. Yeah. And everyone who's, if fear is your thing that's been holding you back, please understand that that's everybody. That's everybody. Even the people you see who are ultra successful, who you admire, they're doing things scared. They're not doing it because there's no fear. They're doing it in spite of the fear. Okay. Okay. All right. Makita, you want to close this out? Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to get paid for what you do. The last thing I want you to do is have a full schedule on an empty bank account. Okay. All right.
Tomorrow's going to be amazing. Going to get paid for what you do. Going to learn all about that. So make sure you don't come alone. The link to share this workshop is entremd.com/workshop. Very easy. Please share it with any doctor you might know. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I'm going to be looking out for your homework. I can't wait to see it. Have a good night, everyone. So nice to meet you all.